So it's a warm welcome back to the Sachsenring. I'm Nick Harris, alongside me Matt Burt, down in pit lane Dylan Gray. And here is the lineup for the German Grand Prix.
8th successive pole position here at the Sachsenring for Marc Marquez. A third straight front row start for Danilo Petrucci and Dani Pedrosa completing that front row. Crutchlow, Folger, a career best MotoGP qualifying in 5th. He heads Jorge Lorenzo on that second row.
Third row of the grid. Paul Espargaro on the KTM, his older brother Aleix Espargaro, and Valentino Rossi, winner in Assen. The new championship leader heads the fourth row. Andrea Dovizioso, Maverick Vinales, and Alvaro Batista.
Jack Miller heads row 5 from Loris Baz and Bradley Smith. Andrea Iannone, KTM wildcard Mika Kallio and Hector Barbera on that 6th row of the grid. Johan Zarco, the pole man in Assen 1 week ago, starts from 19th ahead of Carol Abraham and Sam Lowes. Alex Rins, Scott Redding and Tito Rabat completing the 24-rider lineup here in Germany.
So it's dry at the moment. We should get 30 laps of the shortest circuit in. So the summer break approaches. This is the halfway stage of this magnificent MotoGP season. We're in Germany. 30 laps of the Sachsenring.
Petrucci got away exceptionally well from the middle of that front row of the grid. So did Marc Marquez. Dani Pedrosa up the inside of Petrucci. Marquez, though, will get the whole shot. It's a Repsol Honda 1-2. Lorenzo forcing his way up the inside of Petrucci at turn number 1. Lorenzo has picked up 3 places straight away. He's up in a third from 6th.
Yeah, Cal Crutchlow got pushed out a little bit wide as they came into turn 1. They're down at the Omega curve. The two Hondas lead the way. I think that's more smoke than mist. Right-hander and down the hill.
Yet down through turn 11 for the first time. World Championship leader Andrea Espargaro then up into 8th place.
Turn 13, this difficult uphill left-hander that brings them back into the start and finish. Had to sit up there a little bit, Jonas Folger, but still holds the advantage over Danilo Petrucci. 1 lap gone.
Aleix Espargaro now looking to attack Valentino Rossi on the brakes, and he's made it through. Aleix Espargaro hard charging on that Aprilia, but he's running way a bit too hot. Rossi can fight straight back.
Into prize open a little bit of an advantage. It's Marquez and Pedrosa. Between them, they have won 8 MotoGP races at this circuit.
Lorenzo made the start he needed with those soft option front and rear tyres, and he was aggressive into the first corner to pick up straight away 3 places. But how long will he be able to keep good grip with the riders behind him on harder options? They will probably have the better endurance and durability as the race wears on.
Back with this battle with Valentino Rossi, Aleix Espargaro, Jonas Folger. Thought about getting up the inside of Jorge Lorenzo, urged on by this 80,000 crowd.
Jump start for Hector Barbera.
Oh, poor old Hector Barbera's had a wretched old time. Into turn 1 they come.
Yeah, he started from the front row of the grid, didn't he, last year, Hector Barbera. So, Marquez and Pedrosa leading the way. Quickest man last time around was Jonas Folger, a 1:21.879. So there'll be a ride-through penalty for Hector Barbera, not the way he wanted to go into the summer break. The man to keep an eye on is Folger. He's setting a pretty hot pace out there right now.
And he's getting not desperate, but he really knows he's got to get past Lorenzo soon. And so those 2 Hondas at the front could just start disappearing into the forest that surround this circuit. There is Folger. We now ride with Jorge Lorenzo. That 94 right in his face. Here comes Folger.
Yeah, it's going to be a brave move at turn number 8. He makes it. That is really, really ambitious and really brave. And he's pulled it off Jonas Folger. So he's up into 3rd place, now starting the chase down on the 2 Repsol Honda men, Marquez and Pedrosa.
Down the hill they come from turn 11, down towards turn 12. Folger is...
What about Dovizioso? Still back in 9th and Vinales 10th. They're not making any impression, the top 2 men in the championship right now.
We ride with Valentino Rossi. That is Cal Crutchlow just behind him. Rossi 6th, Crutchlow in 7th place. This is still the very early stages of the race. Still 26.5 laps to go.
You can just see there at the back of your picture, Dovizioso got through on Aleix Espargaro at the Omega corner. So Dovizioso starting his charge towards the front pack. He's just picked off Aleix Espargaro for 8th place.
I mean, if he finishes in front of Vinales, that will help, but obviously Marquez could pick up 25.
They move up the inside of Petrucci. Petrucci's getting picked off on the brakes down the first corner as Marquez is back in the lead.
Marc Marquez leads away. I would imagine it was at turn 1, wouldn't you? That's where he's so good on the brakes. Now, this is the real test for Jonas Folger. Marquez will try and run a bit of pace now. Can he shake the German off? Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's going to... Oh, Folger was in hot.
Yeah,
Folger
too
got
hot.
into turn one a bit hot on the brakes. That's what happens when you come over the line. You see 93 plus 0 on your pit board. Folger, yeah, he was in far, far too hot. Marquez didn't even have to fight for it up the inside. So now Marquez is back at the front of the race. There's Hector Barbara looking pretty frustrated. He could not have seen the signal on his dashboard, I guess, or whether there was some kind of problem with the communication, but it's unusual for a rider of Hector Barbara's experience not to adhere to a jump start penalty. Black flag though, and he's out of the race.
Well, Marc Marquez leads away, but Folger closes up on him once again. But Marc Marquez has retaken the lead in the World Championship. Here comes Maverick Vinales on Lorenzo.
Folger and Marquez are in a complete class of their own. They're the only riders at the moment lapping in the 120. Close enough for a lunge up the inside of Dovizioso down turn 12. Not quite this time around, but Aleix Espargaro looks so confident and comfortable on that factory Aprilia.
Dovizioso is desperate to get past Rossi. It's not going to be easy, and while he's concentrating on doing that, of course, Aleix Espargaro will seize on any rubber on a new surface. Get those two out there.
Sliding Sachsenring, that is, for Folger and Marquez. Sam Lowe's has crashed out of the race, unfortunately. Sam Lowe's was on the brink of the points in 17th. Dovizioso wide air confirmation. Lowe's down at turn 7. Aleix Espargaro, he's
done it again, isn't he?
Dive bombing Dovizioso at the first corner and then running wide.
He's done it again, and Dovizioso hangs in there. Dovizioso hangs in the 5th place.
Cost him a place.
Desperate old weekend for Sam Lowe's, isn't it? At the front, Folger is not letting Marquez get away.
Dani Pedrosa is quite comfortably managing the gap in 3rd place back to Valentino Rossi. Rossi can't make any impression on Pedrosa in 3rd. It's a very lonely 3rd place ride at the moment for Pedrosa. He's 3.6 seconds behind Folger, but in turn 3.4 seconds clear of Rossi.
Great battle going on for 4th place. Rossi, there he is in 4th place, winner just a week ago in Assen. The new championship leader Andrea Dovizioso, then Danilo Petrucci. Aleix Espargaro, wherever he's involved, there'll be fun and games. There certainly is. Here he is once again, getting up the inside of Petrucci.
Ooh, he had a moment on the front end there as well, on that braking zone into turn 12. It's Maverick Vinales as well that's coming back into turn number 2, so he just clings on to 5th place.
Oh, the best riders in the world putting on another absolutely superb show.
Keep a close eye on Álvaro Bautista in 7th place, because he's running sensational pace in 7th, and he's just edging ever so closer to that battle involving Dovizioso, Rossi and Vinales. Back at the front with Marquez. The gap has stayed at around about 2/10 of a second, 2.5 tenths of a second for quite some time now. Folger's just recovered a bit of time in sector 2.
You keep thinking that Marquez is going to pull the pin, don't you? But if he's trying to pull the pin or not, Folger's staying with him as we stand at the moment. This is a great race. These are the real championship contenders, aren't they? The championship leader, well, it's the championship leader going into this race, and here comes Dovizioso once again. This time he can't get through on Rossi. Rossi, you know he will. They come through 13. Rossi, I'm sure, will try and get back at him straight away as they go down into turn 1 on the brake. Vinales is good here though. Rossi on the outside will pull back across. There's nowhere for Dovizioso. No, Rossi no way through, and Bautista is right there with them now.
He's had really good rhythm over the last 5 or 6 laps, Álvaro Bautista. Once he'd fought his way through on that battle with Crutchlow and Petrucci and Aleix Espargaro, give him clear track, and he's been able to chase down Vinales, Rossi and Dovizioso pretty rapidly.
We ride with Jonas Folger in 2nd place.
Folger's gone in hot again at the first corner. That's why he lost that half a second. That's why Marquez was just able to stretch it out.
That's 2 mistakes there, isn't it, from Jonas Folger?
Well, it just shows the pressure he's under trying to stay with Marc Marquez. He is really backs against the wall at the moment, Jonas Folger.
But he's right back in there. You've got to really hand it to him. This is his MotoGP debut season. Poor old Dani Pedrosa. Concentrate, don't think about anything else but the race and the track. And you're going to pick up some very important World Championship points. But it doesn't make for the most exciting afternoon of your life, does it?
No, in terms of Marquez and Folger ahead of him, Dani Pedrosa's just about 3 off.
Go for 2nd place.
Yeah, that was a brave move in the extreme, but he made it stick. Brilliant stuff by Folger. Marquez just can't quite break him at the moment. Look at that, Marquez will go into the summer break 5 points clear of Vinales. Dovizioso dropping back behind Bautista means that he drops to third in the championship, but only 5 points behind Marquez, and Rossi just 10 points off the pace heading into the second half of the season, but it can all chop and change in the final 7 laps here in Germany.
It certainly can. We've seen that it would be the third new championship leader in 3 races, which is extraordinary, but Folger is not letting Marquez get away. A lonely old ride, but Dani Pedrosa in third place. It's not lonely behind him though, I can assure you. There is Pedrosa through turn 1. Vinales, Rossi, Bautista, Dovizioso, Aleix Espargaro, Cal Crutchlow. We got a first real glimpse in the race there of Johan Zarco.
Yeah, Zarco was way down in 17th place for much of the race. Petrucci can't find his way back into the 122s. He's still in 13th place, coming under real pressure now, Petrucci, from Pol Espargaro on the factory KTM.
There is Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia. His teammate, sadly, once again, Sam Lowes has crashed out. Rossi closing up on Vinales. I think Rossi knows how important this is going into the break. But I mean, 10 points at the moment separating the 4 riders in the championship at the halfway stage. There is Zarco. Jorge Lorenzo coming under pressure from from Andre Iannone.
Yeah, Lorenzo gambled with that soft front, soft rear tyre. It hasn't paid off at all. He got a really good start, found himself up into 3rd place very early on, but since then he's dropped back through the field like a stone.
There is 3 to go here. The rain has stayed away. We are again treated to a magnificent MotoGP race. Marquez brakes for turn 1. Where is Folger?
This has been brilliant by Marquez and Folger. On the last lap around, they were down in the 1:21.7s. That's only a 1/10 of a second outside the fastest lap of the race. Red hot pace being set by these two. Nobody else in this Grand Prix has been able to live with the rhythm of Marquez and Folger, but it's Marquez just making a crucial break.
Yeah, I think he's broken him, Matt, with 2 3/4 laps to go. Perhaps Folger's just felt a few problems. Is it at turn 1 once again where he has made the mistake?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. That might be game over, unfortunately, for Jonas Folger. That's the 3rd time we've seen him. That's just from pressure, from trying to stay with Marc Marquez. Credit to Marquez, because he has not put a foot wrong. It's been picture perfect from Marquez. Folger absolutely on the limit. He's a little bit hot as well into turn number 10. He might have to call it off here, Folger, and settle for 2nd place.
Just settle down a little bit as well. He doesn't want to throw a podium position away. Here he is down at turn 12.
He's given everything. He has left nothing out there, Jonas Folger.
And he doesn't want to spoil it now, does he?
No, absolutely.
The ride of his life.
Well, with 2 laps to go, you're not going to hunt down that deficit on Marc Marquez with 2 laps to go on a circuit where he's won for the previous 7 years. Marquez, on the last time around, fired in a 1:21.619. That is why Folger made the mistake, because he was being put under the fiercest pressure by Marquez. What a time to fire.
Session, a new leader in the World Championship. First time this season that Marc Marquez will lead the World Championship as he defends that world title. 1 lap to go for the king of the Sachsenring to make it 8 in a row.
Surely only Marc Marquez himself now can lose this race. 2.1 seconds he is now clear of Jonas Folger. It's a very lonely 3rd at the moment for Dani Pedrosa, with Vinales now looking comfortable in 4th. He's broken Rossi. He's a 2nd clear of his teammate Bautista there. Folger, the crowd giving Marquez a generous round of applause. They'll be delighted to see Jonas Folger take a career 1st podium finish, but Marquez has been absolutely untouchable today.
Salute the new leader of the 2017 World Championship. The world champion Marc Marquez wins here in the Sachsenring.
A brilliant career 1st MotoGP podium finish for Jonas Folger, to the delight of nearly 80,000 fans here at the Sachsenring. Dani Pedrosa comes over the line in a very lonely 3rd place. Vinales gets the better of Valentino Rossi for 4th place. Rossi takes 5th ahead of Álvaro Bautista, who had a great second half charge. Joy and jubilation in the Tech 3 Yamaha garage.
And so where did Andre Dovizioso finish? He did finish in 8th place in the end, so he fought off Zarco, but I think he's probably down in even his 4th place in the World Championship now. What an end to the first half of this incredible 2017 MotoGP season. The 2nd win of the year for Marc Marquez. Valentino Rossi, 5th place. He's still right in the hunt.
Marc Marquez letting off the fireworks with the German marshals. There's going to be fireworks in the second half of the season with just 10 points covering the top 4. Best that Dani Pedrosa could do was third place. He tried to take the fight to Marquez very early on, but he had nothing for this man, Jonas Folger. Maverick Vinales coming to congratulate the German. He is absolutely buzzing Folger, and why not? What a place to take your very first MotoGP podium in front of your home crowd at the Sachsenring. Good as well there to see Johan Zarco. Yep, Jonas has seen himself on the big screens.
Few raised eyebrows when Tech 3 signed in from Moto2 last year. Very early in the season, wasn't it? And then he had a wretched old time in Moto2, came back strongly, almost won the race here last year. That's 2 second places in a row for Jonas Folger, Moto2 and MotoGP.
Shouldn't forget Dani Pedrosa with that third place. He's only 26 points himself behind Marquez in the championship. Vinales then brought that Yamaha home in 4th place. Pretty good job actually when you think that he started 11th.